As a photographer and, I'll start again. As a professional photographer and possibly what could be considered as a professional camera reviewer as well, I do my reviews in a slightly different way from how other people would expect a professional reviewer to do a review. I got a great comment on one of my recent videos where it's doing a review of the AEE Magicam, which is a action cam, little kind of like a GoPro but with more functions. And I got a comment saying, I do believe this is the first ever review I've ever watched where the reviewer not only doesn't know how to operate the device, but also admits it. What I would say is that I've been dealing primarily with digital cameras for about 10 years solidly. And it should be the case that somebody who owns 4 different types of SLR cameras and mirrorless cameras and both cropped sensor and full frame sensor and works with multiple off-camera flashes and all that kind of stuff and has had multiple cameras over the years should be able to pick up pretty much any camera that comes out today and just go, boom, I know how to work this. Yeah, there's a couple of new features in certain cameras. Oh, there's a new video function. Oh, there's a new HDR function, stuff like that. It should be very, very obvious for somebody of my background in terms of camera knowledge and all that stuff. And what I find very frustrating is a lot of time cameras come out with a new function, a new thing, a new ergonomic design which ends up being crap and hiding valuable information or functions deep within menus or within indiscriminate buttons all around the body. For example, Nikon brought out a Nikon DF, which they were like, we're bringing it back to old school, where it's like retro, and yet it still had over 38 dials, buttons and switches on this one little body, and several of them were multiple options within them, and a menu system which went on for about, I think it was 27 pages of menus. And even nowadays, if you're getting the most basic full frame digital SLR camera from Nikon, if you have a little peruse of the instruction manual, peruse can be used meaning looking deep and intently at, or actually just skimming over, you will notice it's got 368 pages and nearly a 400-page manual of just mind-numbingly amounts of information, which whenever you're kind of going, for some reason I can't seem to get this video setting to work as how I want it to go, and the reply is, well, look at page 321 of your manual. You're like, holy crap, there's that much crap that I need to go through for changing a setting which I thought I'd already changed in a previous setting, all that kind of stuff. So my point that I'm trying to make here is that as a reviewer, you don't necessarily need to know everything about how a camera works. One of the main things about how a camera functions or how useful it is how easy it is to pick up and use efficiently. It's a bit, the only other example I could put would be, for example, I love cars. I love car magazines. I love reading the reviews about them. I don't need my reviewer to know exactly how a 3-stage turbo injection GTI boost system works, but I want him to be able to tell me how easy it is and how great it feels whenever he's on maximum boost, kind of stuff like that, or when he's talking about turbo lag or boost threshold. I don't need to know about exact pressure gradient ratios and all that kind of stuff. All I need to know is that, whenever it kicks in, it hits you in the back of the head like a sledgehammer. That's the kind of information I want to know. And it's the same, I feel, with cameras nowadays. If you're using them for work and you're using them professionally, you want them to be able to pick up and not have to spend several weeks scrolling through menu after menu after menu through hundreds of pages of instruction manuals to make sure that you know that you're doing everything right. As a professional, you want to be able to go from one camera to the next and just go, I know exactly how to do everything straight away. And that's one of the things I find possibly the most frustrating about a lot of the new camera tech coming out, is that it's just sometimes just trying to be too clever. For example, one of my favourite cameras just now at the moment is the Panasonic GH4. I think is fantastic. I love it. It's got so many settings though. And at the same time, so that can be fine. There's a lot, I use that for professional work. For video, and those settings are quite handy. However, if I was just using that for fun, 90% of the settings, the features, the functions would never get used. A lot of the time, and actually one of my most used cameras is the iPhone, because you just take a photo and that's it done. And again, with a lot of these cameras, people put them in auto. They'll buy a £4,000 camera and put it in auto or P mode and just shoot away and then complain whenever they go, oh, some setting's wrong, why is it really undersaturated, and not realising that there was 368 pages worth of manual that they needed to really actually know. Or why is my battery draining really quickly? I've only recharged it 5 times and for some reason there's a problem with it. You have to almost have a degree in camera technology, camera design, camera mechanics, before you can get a good image. Well, that's box, but before you can really say, oh, I know everything about my camera. So that's my style of reviewing, is that if you can pick it up and use it straight away, it gets a massive thumbs up. If I can pick it up and all the buttons and dials are in the right place and seem to function how they should function, and if there's a setting or a style of photography I want to do, and I can kind of just look at the camera and go, I think I pretty much know how to set this up, or I don't need to go through pages and pages of menu settings before I get the desired result, then that, I would say, is very important, and especially even more important with simple cameras like a GoPro or the Magicam. If you're using an action camera for fun, you want to be able to just pick it up, look at it and go, on button, record button, some settings buttons, cool, I know how to go. Not having, I think that one had about 9 buttons and switches and presses, and the other ones that you have as well is some things which you need to know the code of how to work it. For example, I've got a headset for recording audio, and if I don't press the right buttons for the right amount of time for holding 2 at one time and then pressing the other one, it's like, again, that's something which if you pick it up and go, stick it on, why is it not on? Technology has given us the ability to do so much, but yet at the same time, by making it far more complicated than what it actually needs to be. So my style of reviewing cameras and tech and all that kind of stuff is from very much the real world experience of somebody picking them up and just being able to use it. And a part of the frustration is when somebody is able to pick it up and not have a clue and is required to spend days memorizing instruction manuals, which I think is a massive flaw in a lot of camera and general tech that's out there just now. That's my thoughts there. Cheers. Bye-bye. One last thing is that if you are on my photography channel, you may not know that I've got 2 other channels. One is my exercise channel, which you can check out, which is Dom Bauer Exercise. I think the actual name is just youtube.com/Dom Bauer. And I've also got another one on this channel, so I've got Dom's Talks. And a lot of that is going to be about me dealing with my first ever newborn baby, little Logan Bauer, born on the 4th of September, and so I'm learning to be a dad. So it's all my mistakes and all the things which I'm learning which are quite useful. So if you want to see more about little Logan and how he's getting on, check out Dom's Talks. And if you want to see, oh, I've also got Dom's Flights as well. So again, I'm doing a lot of stuff flying my DJI Phantom around the places, and also going through the process of getting the license to do it commercially. So if you want to see how I'm doing that, check out the Dom's Flights channel as well, which I put all the links to down below. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.